So as everybody can see, we are truly here at the Buddhist temple, at the Buddhist monastery, the Buddha Mind Temple. Come on, thank you. The Buddha Mind. The Buddha Mind Temple here in Vietnam. This is in a sense a very real and very true documentary of life at the Buddha temple. If I had to teach someone something at this moment, I tell them how many experiences can you find in this moment? And I was saying as well, if I had to teach someone something right now, I would say relax. And sometimes we can't relax in the normal way, you know. We can only eat so many cheeseburgers. We can only watch so many YouTube videos and TikTok videos, right? We're at the Buddha Mind Temple in Vietnam. This is the documentary on the life at the Buddhist monastery. Well, what I'm meaning to say there is that we might have an idea about, you know, what relaxing means to us, but then we're doing that, and now we're stressed out, you know. And then we may build up this identity of being stressed out, or this thing going on in your life, or that thing taking place, this kind of person. So you might have to go for a walk, or you might have to visit the Buddhist temple. maybe practice meditation. Words are very problematic, aren't they? In one way, I would say that life is definitely a simulation. In another way, I'd say that that doesn't make any sense. In another way, I'd say it's neither a simulation nor is it not a simulation. The monastery is absolutely beautiful. I don't think about that kind of stuff. T4 just. I mostly think about thoughts. I think about the thoughts that I've thought about in the moments. I think about not thinking. I think about direct experiencing as well. I think about the emptiness of the appearances, the temporariness of thoughts and positions and values and perspectives. I think about how any one particular thought includes its opposite, just like the hot includes the cold, the sweet includes the salty. We are here at the Buddha Mind Temple in Vietnam. The Buddha Mind Temple in Vietnam. Buddha probably was a real person, I don't know, but he probably was. This is my friend over here. No, the truth is that there's no schedule. There's no time. There's no time for a schedule to be put in place. What you doing? Hmm?
Ông là chim kìa. Ông là chim kìa Gạo.
Chúc mừng nhà mới.
Chúc
Chúc mừng nhà mới.
Ông là chim quá cho người xem luôn. Trời ơi, chim
I've been trying to capture this little boy for many days.
là chim đó muốn cho hết chim mạng á. Ông là chim chim mạng á. Bắt chim Nam.
Chúc mừng nhà mới. Chúc mừng nhà mới.
Đọt. Đọt.
Dog, dog, dog.
Đó con chó đó. Ừ. Đọt.
Dogs.
Đó cũng là chim kìa trời. What chưa nè anh? Kìa không, bây giờ mày nói trên mạng rồi đó Ngầu.
Chúc mừng nhà mới.
Biết đâu Ngầu từ mới. Cho em tương đen hả chị? Em không ăn tương ớt được. Tương ớt cay á. Ngoan thì sao? Ngoan ăn tương đen. Đổ vô luôn nha. Nè đó, thấy chị thương không? Nói gì trời? Quay tiệm cá trên chiên kìa. Trời ơi, ông quay họ ta đó gì chỗ này bán chơi bẩn quá.
Bye bye, chúc mừng nhà mới.
Bye. Hello.
Bye bye.
Tắm một lần không?
I think I'd be a lot more likely to eat that dog than they would. But if it comes down to it, who knows what we'd be willing to do to feel better than we feel right now. Especially if you don't feel particularly good. Everything is up to me. I'm not on vacation, I'm on retreat. Cigarettes bring me back to my time in the Australian bush, in the outback, spending time with the in the Aboriginal land. What I can say is there's a lot of Vietnamese people in Vietnam. I can tell you that for sure. We are at the Buddha Mind Temple in Vietnam, at the meditation retreat. I chewed betel nut when I was living in Myanmar. For those who don't know, we have Monk Life Meditation trading cards that we're sending out to some of the students and donors and supporters. So if you'd like your own Dr. Rob Monk Life Meditation trading card, you join our Discord and get in contact with Shelley. What this says here, it says, bless you. And I hope that you are blessed. And it also says premium quality. So I hope that you're blessed. And I hope that you're experiencing a premium quality life today. In these very difficult times. Very troubling times. I tell you, I hear about all the situations in America, and I say, you know, I get it, I do, but you know, I'm suffering a lot as well. You know, I'm going through my own trials and tribulations. Each and every day is a trial and tribulation, one trial and tribulation after another. So I'm happy to do more, but I've got a lot on my plate. A lot of thoughts, a lot of suffering. A lot of seeking for answers. Old enough to go to war, young enough to drink coconut water. I believe it, flower power. That's why I came to the Buddha Mind Temple here in Vietnam to join the meditation retreat, to walk and to breathe, to drink, to eat in peace, and to be around the meditation environment. Many beautiful women here, and monks and nuns, and meditation master. So this can lighten my load, lighten my heart, here at the Buddha Mind Temple in Vietnam. It would be difficult for me to tell other people to do things that I myself can't do or wouldn't do. And I couldn't and wouldn't do most things. You know what I mean? Even at the meditation retreat, wake up early and go to the meditation hall, maybe I'll take a rest. So that's one of my characteristics. I can't tell people much what to do because I can't tell myself what to do, much of anything, actually. Just being honest, just being straightforward, you know, being clear. Now it's true, I am at the meditation retreat. I am at the Buddha Mind Temple in Vietnam, so I could tell you to see about going to a meditation retreat, going to see a meditation master, but maybe that wouldn't be easy to do that, you know? So I think there's very, very few people in this world that are really mentally stable, healthy, and wealthy in body and mind. But we can try to bring some remembrance. That's one of my good qualities. I always try to bring some remembrance about the importance of peace, the importance of peacefulness, and that oftentimes is very connected to letting go. I find in myself, to be willing to let go of what's been built up or what's gotten entrenched in me, what I'm worried about. Okay, remember to let it go and relax. Because everybody's in the dying process, aren't they? So we have to let go and relax. And somehow the mind doesn't get that idea very clearly. Maybe it's from the old times of not having the access to the food, the struggle. So the mind always looking for the struggle. So I hopefully one day I can turn that around where the mind is, I have to work to struggle rather than work to relax. High vibrational people, very hard to come by. You can find people who are superficially high vibrational, but it's conditioned. It's conditioned by their wealth or their physical health or only being around certain kinds of people, only being in certain situations. It's like those wealthy people that make the TikToks with a big smile and they're saying, oh, how wonderful my life is, how rich my life is. Well, at that moment when you're performing for the camera, but when we're just here by ourselves, there's a lot of suffering. And we can just constantly try to avoid that and get around that and ignore that. Or we can look right at it. And that's what meditation is all about, sitting there and looking right at that suffering, that cancer of suffering. Right back at you. I hope you find more peace as well. No, Basrutin. This is a different because because in the, let's say, the Vietnam country, it's really strange. Spirituality is a part of the society. It's a part of the culture. Now, that doesn't mean that maybe you don't even have more people that are involved in what we would call, serious spiritual practice than in a place like in America. But there's a kind of energetic sphere of spirituality or spiritual practice or spiritual culture, like a valuation given to wisdom and compassion and morality in the culture that you won't find in America as such. So the psychedelic use and the weed use and these kinds of things is it's almost like a material way to bring spirituality into the body, into the mind, into the life. But here, I mean, it's just having the meditation retreat. Thousands of people want to join, you know, hundreds and thousands of people want to join. And it's very ascetic in many ways. You know, it's not like a luxury retreat or something. It's very grounded, very in the earth. So yeah, we are at the Buddha Mind Temple here in Vietnam. The natural people. That's why I always call the Vietnamese people or the Thai people, the Myanmar people, the natural people, natural kind of people. So this is actually something that I learned, John Doe, the precept body. If we have our certain things that we don't do or don't consume, then it's almost like a buoyancy factor. So if you're not interested in the way of meditation or the way of awareness, then you don't need to worry about what you're doing helping you to be more aware, to just come back to awareness. So it's more of a long-term program. So let's say, for example, rather than, so I have something here, I'll show everybody. This is a pack of Vietnamese cigarettes. So if I take one, I smell and I remember Australia. And I light this up. Even if this was a big cigarette and I got a little bit dizzy, something like that, it's very temporary. But if, for example, I lit up a joint or took a couple shots of tequila, that's not very temporary. So then going into the meditation hall, there's a lack of sobriety. And it's the same with any precept, right? If you frantically kill or steal or lie, you can make a lot of problems for yourself. You can make a lot of problems in the energetic field for yourself and for others. And so because of that, we don't have the restart, refresh principle easily on the tips of our fingers. What I mean by that is that we can't just go back to facing our normal mind. And so this is well known in the monasteries. Most monasteries are pretty laxative about nicotine and things like that, but some aren't. Some are not. Never been to Cambodia. Everything. Now, if you had a wish, wouldn't it be a good one to be a better example to the people that follow you, to the people that look up to you, to the people that you are responsible for? So I, of course, have that wish. But it takes time. Maybe in this life, maybe in the next life, etc. How deep into meditation can you go at a place like this? I don't know. How much better is an environment in America, a secluded, traditional meditation center, compared to this? I don't know. But what I can say is that what I do know is only here and now. Trump right now only exists in my mind. If Donald Trump was sitting across with me, I'd shake his hand and I'd say, Donald, we got to do something about ICE. We have to have a conversation about this. But we can't just dream and struggle and strive hour after hour, year after year, month after month to be this better person of ourselves so that we can be recognized by other people in a certain way. We can't do that. I have to recognize myself with kindness now, regardless of what happens. And I need to be more open about not taking responsibility for my actions. I gotta let things go. And if I'm destroying my life and I'm destroying the lives of other people, well, that's the way that it is. But I can't add on extra suffering and extra problems and extra worrying on top of the problems that I already have. I have to let go. I have to let be. I have to let natural renewal take place. The natural renewal of my awareness body. I couldn't tell you about my precept body. I'm not advanced enough. But I could tell you about my awareness body in the here and now. Because sometimes all we can do is follow and make use of what is accessible to us. Chasing after this ideal, it will make us very emotional. This ideal relationship, this ideal situation, this ideal experience. Or we can be grateful for what we already have now. We can have gratitude for the way that this is now. And we can release control in that. There's a song that goes a little something like this. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. We may have to do that a lot more times than we'd like to do that. This is just one life. We don't get to choose what our past lives have been. You know, I can't make it so that I didn't grow up in an environment that, for better or worse, made me mentally unstable and mentally suffering, made me who I am today. There may be another version of myself in a different place that was born in Myanmar or born in South Korea and grew up to be a great, pure, wonderful monk and had easy access to blissful states of meditation that healed my suffering, healed my mental illness very easily and accessibly. But this life, here and now, is what I have to be grateful for and to practice with. And the more that I'm willing to practice with the life that I have here and now, the more that I can actually make a difference. We go back to the great sage, the primordial master of Zen, Bodhidharma, who said, when you feel like shit, but you're not doing anything wrong, endure it, because it simply makes sense. Lifetime after lifetime, we have turned away from our sincere, best way of practicing, and we've turned towards all kinds of complicated thoughts and beliefs, desires and fears, anger, frustration, thinking for ourselves instead of letting our wonderful gurus and meditation masters think for us. At least if we do that, then all we would have to do is blame them. We wouldn't have any blame for ourselves. So there's a lot of merit in that. You know, I've just recently on this meditation retreat, I'm getting to experience, some more focused, deeper meditation, and then coming out of that and not actually having my mind be all over the place. This state of peace, this state of equanimity is the absence of complicated thinking, big wishes, big ideas, big plans. So we know about the negative big ideas and big plans and big stories, but then somehow we forget about the fundamental principle of what allows those big sufferings to happen. It's our complicated thinking. It's our compulsive thinking. And so then we feel a little bit of balance, we feel a little bit of energy or power, and now we go into this big positive thinking, and we spiral and spiral and spiral again and again. We are at the Buddha Mind Temple here in Vietnam, joining the meditation retreat with the real life meditation master monk. I'm not leading the retreat, although I'd be very honored to lead it. I'm participating in it as a practitioner, so I can bring some health and wealth and joy and peace and freedom to my life in the here and now. So I can try to practice deeply. But practicing deeply probably isn't going to be what we would like it to be. Practicing deeply entails facing our suffering, seeing how convoluted and broken our mind is, how lost we are. When I say we, I mean me, myself, and those people that can empathize with what I'm saying. A lot of people on this planet, so I'm sure at least some of them can empathize with these words. And then at times when we practice deeply, it's true that our heart opens, that our wisdom opens, that our compassion opens, and we have these wonderful, deep, rich, meditative experiences. But those are also temporary. Those are also not reliable. Mangala ba, Pyoshwin baze, Kankao baze, Tuyara wamta bade, Kesa mashi babu, Kesa mashi babu, Kesa mashi babu. The ego or the mind is like so tricky. Kind of like how a king believes himself to own the land, to own the people, to be in control over everything. All the while, the king is just another human being along for this ride of awareness. Even when we've done a lot of introspection, a lot of contemplation, the ego is constantly building up new beliefs, new justifications for why the ego is right, for why the ego understands. It's this addiction to intellectualization that is antithetical to samadhi, which is equanimous non-intellectualizing. Equanimity without seeking. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome. So we asked the question, what do we mean by reality? If we say, this is reality, well, what if someone doesn't agree with you? What if someone chops off your head? What if someone bribes the people around you to not believe what you say? So now you're surrounded by a group of people that don't like you, don't agree with you, don't believe in what you say, and you're just sitting there. This is reality. What are you trying to win? What are you trying to gain? And don't forget, there's not only rock, there's also scissors, there's also paper. So this understanding of reality, does seem to have this rock. This is what is real. This is a cup. But the scissors can come along and cut that cup. What is it then? The paper can come along and cover that cup so that you don't see it. What is it then? So reality is a great invitation, not for someone to come along with a hard answer, but for questioning, for exploration, for investigation, and of utmost importance is this great doubt, this great wonder, this great unknowing that allows us to know more deeply for ourselves and for others if they give us that position of authority in their lives. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. Because we have a very deep inclination, or there is a very deep importance about judging other people. And I don't want to talk about that because I judge people all the time. They're fat, they're ugly, they're beautiful, they're smart, they don't get it, they get it. I judge other people all the time. So I'm not talking about judging other people. But it seems like that need to judge others comes from a constant need to judge myself. I'm not good enough. I could be better. Why can't I meditate in the way that I want to meditate? Why can't I teach in the way that I want to teach? Why can't I be stronger? Why can't I be healthier? Why can't I be more intelligent? There's so much constant internal judgment going on here. And I find that that seems to be what the algorithm exploits. My constant sense of perpetuating in this cycle of I like this, I don't like that. That's good, that's not good. That's to my taste, that's not to my taste. And I find in myself that when I'm so often lost in making these judgments of wanting to feel better, or how bad I am that I feel bad right now, and how wrong it is how I feel right now, that I don't have this ability to just live, to stop, to step back, and to look deeply and to rest in love, or to rest in awareness, to rest in just being, to give myself space to just be so that I can understand myself more deeply, so that I can navigate my own inner mind more skillfully, to bring about the changes that I want to bring about, not in the future. I don't want to be an Instagram model, but to bring about the changes that I'd like to bring about now. And to orient myself towards people and situations and environments that actually allow me to bring about changes now, rather than signing off my willpower and my energy to some hope for return on investment in the future. You know, a lot of gym memberships go unused. A lot of Netflix subscriptions go uncanceled. So for me, when I have the space, when I have the awareness to be able to do it, I'm canceling my subscription to judging others. I'm canceling my subscription to judging myself. What you're doing is up to you. You know, that's not my business, but for me, veganism would be a stronger sticking point than smoking, because everybody could be more healthy I'm not talking about smoking with a bunch of kids in the car or something like that. But everybody could do good to be more healthy, to walk more, drink more water, um, etc. But at least in smoking, we're not killing other beings. We're not butchering animals. We're not eating the flesh and the blood, the children of other animals, other beings. But that's just me. Of course, I'd rather not smoke. I'd rather be maybe 40 pounds lighter, have a lot more muscle mass, jog, drink more water. I think I probably drink enough water, but you know what I mean. Smoking used to be cool. You'd see somebody smoking in the movies or the TV shows, you'd say, wow, cool guy. You want to know the key to stopping bad habits? Don't start them. Okay, dear friends, thank you all for showing up, and they get back to the meditation retreat here at the Buddha Mind Temple in Vietnam. Be well, be happy, be peaceful, be free from suffering, and I'll do whatever I can to offer support, share my life, and share my energy to help you. All right? Thank you, and good night from Vietnam.